To the users of the iPhone app. Japanese Business Conversations, Episode 2. Here, Sakura Yoshimoto will be answering your requests and explain how to use this app in detail. The contents include these 4 points. 1. 4 playing modes. 2. Customizable settings for playing. 3. 2 methods to only play liked scenes. 4. Memo feature that could be used to jot down things you have noticed in each scene. Now, we will begin by explaining the first point, the 4 playing modes. First, click on this blue button. Mode Selection. It will take you to a screen where you can choose the 4 playing modes, so select the playing mode here. First, a mode that plays all the scenes. Second, a mode that plays only the liked scenes. Third, a mode that plays only in Japanese. Fourth, a mode that plays only in Chinese. To play all the scenes, proceed and tap on the blue button, moving you to the playing scene. When you tap on the blue triangular play button, each scene will begin playing in order. Each scene will be played in the order of English and Japanese. The actual app screen will look like this.
Are you from Singapore?
シンガポールの方なんですか?
No, I was born and raised in Japan.
いいえ、生まれも育ちも日本です。
How long have you been in Singapore?
いつからシンガポールに?
A year ago, my husband and I moved to Singapore.
1年前に夫と2人で移住しました。
Well, have you gotten a better picture of the mode that plays all the scenes? Now, we will explain the second part, a mode that plays only the liked scenes. On the mode selection screen, this time, choose the one that plays only the liked scenes and tap on the blue button. You will now be able to play only the liked scenes on the screen. For example, the actual screen of the app when scene 8, 33, and 60 are selected will look like this. I've heard so much about you.
大噂はいつも聞いております。
No, it's my first time, so I shouldn't go that way.
いや、最初ですし、そういうわけにはいきません。
If anyone has time, please go and support him.
時間のある方は応援に行ってあげてください。Instructions to select the scenes will be further explained in the third description of playing only liked scenes. Next, we will explain the third part out of the 4 ways to play, playing in only one language. Here, you are able to play in only one language, Japanese, and it will be like this.
シンガポールの方なんですか?
いいえ、生まれも育ちも日本です。
いつからシンガポールに?
1年前に夫と2人で移住しました。少し前までクリニックの受付で働いてたんです。
うわぁ、羨ましい。
It can be used to train listening skills without English. Additionally, the fourth part out of the 4 ways to play, playing in only English will be like this.
Are you from Singapore?
No, I was born and raised in Japan.
How long have you been in Singapore?
A year ago, my husband and I moved to Singapore. Until recently, I was working as a receptionist at the clinic.
Wow, I'm jealous of you.
This can be used in training when you practice speaking the wholly memorized Japanese sentences at the pace of the actual conversation speed before the English speech ends. Up to here, the explanation for the first point, the 4 playing modes, will end here. Continuing on to the second point. We will now explain the customizable settings for playing. On the Mode Selection and Advanced Settings screen, if you tap on Settings, it will proceed to the advanced settings. Here, you will be able to set up the speaking counts in Japanese, the total number of repeats, and the playing speed to your liking, so try customizing them. For example, twice in Japanese and playing speed at 1.2 times faster will look like this when set up.
Are you from Singapore?
シンガポールの方なんですか？シンガポールの方なんですか？
No, I was born and raised in Japan.
いいえ、生まれも育ちも日本です。いいえ、生まれも育ちも日本です。
How long have you been in Singapore?
いつからシンガポールに？いつからシンガポールに？
A year ago, my husband and I moved to Singapore.
1年前に夫と2人で移住しました。1年前に夫と2人で移住しました。
Until recently, I was working as a receptionist at the clinic.
少し前までクリニックの受付で働いてたんです。少し前までクリニックの受付で働いてたんです。
Wow, I'm jealous of you.
うわぁ、羨ましい。うわぁ、羨ましい。
If you do not want the settings or progress bar to show, tap around the center of the playback screen, and the settings display will disappear. Tap once again to show the settings, etc. again. The app screen when the settings display is turned off will look like this.
Are you from Singapore?
シンガポールの方なんですか？
No, I was born and raised in Japan.
いいえ、生まれも育ちも日本です。
How long have you been in Singapore?
いつからシンガポールに？
A year ago, my husband and I moved to Singapore.
1年前に夫と2人で移住しました。
Up to here, the explanation for the second point, the customizable settings for playing, will end here. Next, we will proceed to explaining the third part, the two methods of only playing the liked scenes. To begin with, the first method is to use the scene list that enables selection and editing. On the mode selection screen, choose Selected Scenes. Tap on the Setting button and, on the Advanced Setting screen, tap on Selection screen. It will then move you to the Scene Selection screen, so you will be able to choose and edit here using the list. When you want to check the contents of the selected scene, click on the Info button next to that scene number, and you will be able to check the image. Now, we will move on to the second method of playing only the liked scenes. This method uses the feature that automatically adds a scene to the scene list when a chosen scene's number is tapped while they are all on play. The scene number will turn from white to blue, so you will know when it is added to the list. When you would like to delete it, it will turn white once it is tapped again, removing it from the list. In the mode that plays all the scenes, the chosen scene number will be in blue on the scene list selection, so when you would like to delete it, tap here and make it white to remove it like so. Up to here, the explanation for the third point, the two ways to play only liked scenes, will end here. Lastly, we will explain the fourth point, a memo feature that could be used to jot down things you have noticed in each scene. When you tap on the memo button while the scene is playing, it will pause and move to the scene memo screen where you can enter text on the memo. You can record things you have noticed, advice you have gotten from a native speaker, similar phrases, or questions for each scene. In addition, when you tap on the All Notes reference button, you will be able to refer to the list of all the memo contents from all the scenes. On this screen, if you select the full screen and copy, it will become text data that could be pasted on your Memo app installed in the device or emails, so it is very convenient as it can be reused in other devices as well. That will be all for the explanation of how to use the app. Japanese Business Conversations, Episode 2. To those who think you are still at a beginner level in the foreign language, try memorizing one whole phrase used in this app, use it during an overseas business trip or global meetings, and feel the impact of doing so. Afterwards, it would be great if you would gradually add on to those whole memory phrases and polish up your language skills accordingly to your circumstances. We strive to always support our users' accomplishments in business scenes by continuing to develop the content of this app. And thus, this message was sent to you by Sakura Yoshimoto.